So what is a day in the life of a full-time traveler really like? I know we post a lot of videos of our adventures. You know, the highlights. But is that what every day is actually like? No. Most days are probably not that different from your own. Right now, it's autumn, so we try not to run the heat too much, especially with propane prices going up. But some days, getting out of bed is a little bit easier if the RV is just a bit warmer. And if the sun is out, opening up the blackout curtains helps warm up the rig too. But even if all that isn't enough to get us going for the day, letting the dogs out to go to the bathroom is usually enough to wake us up. After that, it's time to get the kettle going so that Adam can have his coffee, I can have my tea, and the dogs can have a warm meal. I'm usually pretty bad about hydration, so filling up a big water bottle with some electrolytes first thing in the morning should help keep me on top of things today. Maybe. Since living and working remotely, I found myself being able to enjoy the morning routine just a little bit more. Being able to slow down, prepare for the day, and set everybody up for success can really keep you focused as the day progresses. While things cool down a bit, it's time to start in on breakfast. During this time, Adam is usually in his first meeting of the day, so I try to time things out so we can eat together when he gets done. And yes, I am cutting an onion with a serrated knife. If you've ever lived without a dishwasher, you will understand the life of trying to use as few dishes as possible when cooking, and since I need to cut tomatoes as well, we went with a serrated knife. Anyways, making a nice breakfast is another thing we didn't used to do most days before we were remote. Trying to get out of the door on time, dealing with the morning commute, they're gone, and I like what they've been replaced with. This isn't every morning, but it's most of them now. If I plan on showering today and I want the water to be warm, I need to turn on the water heater at least 20 minutes before I plan on using it. While I do this, I like to make sure our gray tank is empty because having your shower water back up on you is not a great way to start the day. Trust me. Before we sit down to eat, I like to feed the dogs, after Delilah has had her pills. Depending on the day, Delilah may or may not be on a hunger strike, and after the windstorm we had last night, I had my suspicions about her willingness to eat breakfast, and it seems I was not wrong. When this happens, we do our best to comfort Delilah and coax her into eating, and many times it works. Having a high anxiety dog can be a challenge at times, but just like anything else, we take the good with the bad and do our best to carry on when things don't always work out. Today wasn't a win. We will try again tonight. Now it's time to enjoy our breakfast together and maybe share some snacks with the dogs. Delilah taking a treat is a good sign that she will recover just fine and should hopefully be willing to eat later on. With breakfast now behind us, it's back to work for Adam and time for me to plan out my day and finish off my tea. After that, it's time to make our bed, so that moments later, the dogs can inevitably ruin it, and then I can hop in the shower. Now that I'm washed up, it's time to decide where in the RV I would like to work for the day. I typically choose between the recliner, the dinette, or the bed. The bed comes with friends. You can guess which one is the most appealing. In all seriousness though, it usually depends on what I'm doing that day, which is usually either editing the vlog, tutoring kids online, or doing contract video production work. And since none of those things are super interesting to watch, we can skip ahead to lunch. For lunch, we usually just have leftovers or something that's quick and easy. Today we have leftovers from Kokoro, a fast casual Japanese restaurant, and I'm using this lunch to help me finish off the bottle of Drip Drop that has been judging me all morning. We pay the dogs their meal tax, and they help us finish off our blueberries. We make sure to squeeze Delilah's open, otherwise she'll forget that she likes them. Then it's time for a midday potty break, and we're using it as an excuse to explore some of the wooded areas outside of our RV park. Then it's back to work until the evening. And before Adam is officially off work, I take it as an opportunity to do the dishes in the sink. Around this time of day, the dogs are getting pretty antsy, so we do some quick treat training before we can go on our evening walk. This month, we're actually staying in our home state of Colorado visiting family. And in some ways, it's been relaxing to be somewhere familiar, somewhere we don't feel the need to do extravagant exploring as much. The RV park has 2 lakes on either side of it with a beautiful wooded park. We make sure to work with the dogs a bit, but also take some time to just enjoy ourselves. Here's a shot of Delilah doing so great with a bicyclist flying past us. It's the little wins. After that, it's time to go home and make some dinner. Because we were just in New Mexico, we have a ristra of red chilies that I've been dying to make carne adobada with. So tonight is the night that we finally give it a shot. Adam grew up in New Mexico and he approves. So we'll count this one as a win. Now that everyone is fed, even Delilah, it is finally time to wind down for the night and just be a family. On a weeknight, that usually looks like playing video games, watching a movie, reading the Bible, or maybe just talking and catching up together. While we really aren't on adventures all the time, we are much more often than we used to be. So spending a night in together is something we've come to value more and more. If there's anything that full-time travel has really changed about my life, it's through the lessons that it's taught me. And as far as the day-to-day goes, this lifestyle has taught me to just enjoy the small things, because you can't chase happiness. In most cases, true happiness doesn't come from where you are or even what you're doing. Joy comes from your own point of view and how you value the things inside of it. Before we actually go to bed, we do need to check our propane and make sure that it's not going to run out from running our furnace overnight, but it's not supposed to freeze, so I think we're probably in the clear. Then we let the dogs outside to go to the bathroom, and with that, it's good night and time to rest before a new day begins. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode. We'll see you next week. Thanks for traveling with us.